In terms of Australia, I would just tell people to get out of their comfort zone and just really be open to experiences. Just value experiences more than maybe money, because that is what will make you grow. In Australia, people are more relaxed and laid back, and in India, they're a little bit more serious in terms of being a bit more strict. And here, people are more relaxed and try to go out more and enjoy life a bit more. My name is Timanshu Jagwani, but you can call me TJ. It's easier for short. And I have been in Australia for about 5 years now. This is my 6th year. Came as a student, studied in Macquarie, and now working for 1.5 years. Yeah, I clearly remember my first day. I was a little bit nervous, a little bit scared, but also excited. Fear is a good thing, but you just need to be out of your comfort zone and talk to people. So that's what I did. I came in, talked to people, become a bit more comfortable. And yeah, I had met with my university the first day. They came for a pickup at the airport, so I met a lot of people, went to my Airbnb, was lucky to find friends quickly and move into a house. And yeah, that was pretty much my first day. Ooh. My most satisfying moment is going to the beach. I feel most alive, and just the environment Australia has, I think, is very good. The government looks after it very well. You can go to a lot of places, connect with nature, and whenever I'm out in nature, whether that's during a hike in the mountains or in the beaches or doing a walk, going to parks, I think that's when I feel most alive and satisfied in Australia, because I think this is very diverse city. It has everything, and compared to my city, Delhi in India, is a little bit different in terms of the environment. So I think I appreciate this the most. My best place is actually a place called Bobbin Head in the north of Sydney. There's a little lake near the area of Bobbin Head, and if you go at night after 11 p.m, it is very dark. There's no lights, and there's people fishing, and there's like cars and yachts and stuff there, but you can go there, and it is sort of at a height, so you can see the stars at night. It is very beautiful, very beautiful. So I would recommend for anyone, if they have access to a car, to go there at night and experience it, because I've never seen stars as close before, and you can really experience it in a great way. Yeah, there is a big difference. In Australia, people are more relaxed and laid back. In India, they're a little bit more serious in terms of buying a house, being more strict with money, being more, just in general, not being a bit more strict. And here, people are more relaxed and try to go out more and enjoy life a bit more. And culturally as well, I think there is a big difference in terms of just how people live their lives. And here people have dinner at 6 p.m. In India, we have dinner at 10 p.m. So that's a big difference. And yeah, there's a lot of things in terms of culture as well, like how here being independent is valued by people, that you stand up on your own feet. In school, even people start working, do more sort of chores like cleaning, cooking, that sort of thing. In India, we have helpers, so that's a very big difference. And yeah, it's overall there are differences, but each place has its own sort of uniqueness to it, and I love both. Not in terms of food, but in terms of, because India is historically has been a British colony, little bit similar to Australia. So we drive on the same side of the road. They drive on the same side of the road here and use the same metric system. Like we use kilometers, they also use kilometers here. And the weather is 60-70% similar from where I come from. In Delhi, which is the capital of India, we have long summers and long winters. It's similar here. So you have very high temperatures in winter, really cold, and same in Delhi. Also the monsoon, so it was very easy for me to adjust. But the air quality is much better here, so it was a very easy transition. and yeah, those are the similarities which sort of eased me into it, because I have never been into like the snow. I've always been in hot temperatures, and here it also becomes very hot and a little bit cold, which I can manage. So it was a very easy transition. In terms of food, I don't see much similarities, but there's a lot of Indian food here also, many Indian people. So that's always good. If I miss home, I can always go somewhere and have food from my home, which is Indian food, and meet lots of Indian people. One advice I would give myself is to really self-reflect a lot and decide the kind of person you want to be and stick to your values, so that you're not sort of swayed by opinions too much. Because I've been in the situation where just because one, two or three people are saying something doesn't mean you have to do it, and just getting your priorities right, and just self-reflecting, journaling, and just sort of decide the kind of person you want to be. And also, while it's good to listen to other people's opinion and ask for advice, also to really self-reflect and see what your opinion on that thing is, so that you can take the best decision for yourself. And because I think it's really, really important to have that time to think about it, because sometimes you can get into the moment and get really excited and do things, but it's not really good for you. So that would be my advice, to just sort of step back, self-reflect, see what you want, and really think things through. Not just sort of, sometimes when we are excited or doing things, we don't really take the time to really understand what's valuable for us and define the kind of person we want to be. Because if you don't define that, you sort of go everywhere. You want to do everything, but I think it's really important to have that little bit of focus and really decide your priorities. I think the most pivotal experience has been living in Australia for the past 5 years and being alone. Since I finished my high school in India, I was out of my home for the first time alone. First was a year in another city in India called Mumbai, and then I went to Australia, which is a little bit different because you're alone but you're in a new country, and just the process of living life independently, getting to know a lot of things, managing my bank accounts, managing my home, managing jobs, working for the first time ever, and dealing with lots of people, lots of different kinds of people, and some you have problems come up, you gotta pay rent, you gotta find a job, if you're not working, problem solving basically. And sometimes you miss home. You also realize how important family is, because you've been away from them for such a long time. And also the realization of how important it is to also spend time with yourself and really getting to know yourself. So because when you travel, it's the best time for self-reflection and know what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong and things you need to work on. So all of those things combined, I think, has been my pivotal moment, especially during COVID, because when the borders were shut, you couldn't talk to a lot of people, and I was working in the supermarkets actually. Although my first job was as a waiter, I left that job after 6 months, and my main job has been working at the supermarket stacking shelves. And during COVID, all the shelves were empty, people were buying everything. And it was really stressful because I was working full-time at my job and I was doing full-time uni. So that was a very interesting experience, sort of navigating that. And just being helpful to society, because that job was considered, frontline workers, because you need to make sure that there's food for people to buy. At that time, it was a very crucial time. So all of these experiences combined, have shaped me to who I am today, and still learning each day, and really glad for all these experiences. I think just being present in the moment, not thinking about the past, not thinking about the future, just being completely in the present, and because that's all we have, and just really, do with focus what you're doing at the moment, because I think that brings you the most happiness. Because if you keep thinking about the past, you'll have regret. If you keep thinking about the future, you'll be anxious. So these days I've been doing a lot of self-reflection and also time away from screens, because if you're in front of the screen all the time, you have all that dopamine coming to your head. So I think spending time alone and even outside in nature with people and really connecting and really being in the present moment and focusing on everything, your breath, your body, and everything around you. Because I think that has been a pivotal experience for me, just being in a state of observation so that I do not have overthinking thoughts and I can enjoy every moment. Where do I see myself in 5 years? That's a very good question. I was thinking about it. My answer is not complete yet, but I can answer this in terms of my goals. I want to travel a lot more. I want to sort of get back into playing football a lot more. I want to get into running, so big dreams fitness-wise. And in terms of my career at the moment, I'm just focusing on, I work as a software support engineer, by the way, so I will try to find career in the same path for the next 5 years at least. And then eventually I want to step away from this, maybe something I can do remotely so I can travel the world a lot more. But at the moment, the plan is to get those things in order so I am able to do all of those things with a little bit more flexibility of time. And we'll see what happens. But at the moment, I'm focusing on staying in Australia and making the most of the facilities I have here. So this can give me the opportunity to go explore other places in the world also. Maybe I'll make Australia my home, but I still wanna maybe travel 6 months of the year. In my career, what I'm really looking for is something that I enjoy. Right now, my job is more about fixing problems, about software. And I really like that. I'm a problem solver and I like to get stuck into things, and getting the solution is very satisfying to me. And at the moment, culture at my company is also good. They share similar interests, like they are really big foodies also, so they also like to try restaurants and I go out with them. So I think it's a good mix and I'm really enjoying it at the moment. What I want to get out of it is just progress myself forward in terms of also my career, learning a lot more things than I currently am, and working at more bigger companies so I get that experience. And eventually I want to do something of my own. I don't know if it's going to take me 5 years or 10 years, but hopefully I'll get to that point where I can work. Either that's through something I do of my own or through a job, but something which allows me to work from anywhere in the world. And that's my goal. So time is a very important thing for me, and location freedom. So just working towards that alongside, learning and financial, that comes along. The biggest lesson I have learned here definitely has been to value relationships, because we are all people, we are social human beings, and connection is very, very important. It can happen and it will happen at some point that you feel alone. So I think really taking the time to invest into friendships, people even staying connected with your friends and family overseas, calling them often, just making sure that relationship is maintained. And so, it's an essential part of living life. So I see it in two ways. One is have that connection with yourself, really get to spend time alone and know who you are and really reflect on things, what you want out of life. And another thing is making friends, taking that time to reconnect with people. You meet people, make sure you connect with them. Like I met you last week and now we've already seen 3 times. So it's important because you will meet a lot of people, but you'll see them once and you never see them again. So it's important to maintain that circle. So, you look out for each other. And I'm glad that, I have that circle now. and yeah, that's a bit of assurance for myself as well that, you know, if anything happens, I have my people. One phone call, all sorted. What you need to do is just spend time alone. Spend time off the phone. You know, really take the time. What I'm trying to do these days is when I go out for a jog or a walk, I put my phone at home. I don't take my phone with me because you need to be bored in order to know yourself. Because if you're constantly watching a movie, you're on social media, there's always something going on. You know, the best ideas and thoughts come in when you're bored. The people who have influenced me most, the one I would like to mention would be my manager at Coles. As I said, I used to work at Coles, the supermarket. I had a manager who was my really good friend. So before he even became my manager, we were working together. He was really kind and looked after me. And I think it's really important to have that person because when there was, you know, tough times like COVID, I used to work late. I used to work like 10, 12 hours also doing university, and he, you know, if it gets late, he used to drop me home, make sure I'm doing good, you know, always have that good intent. When I get married, from my workplace, only one person I will invite is that person because he really took care of me, and yeah, he's been the most influential because, you know, if there's advice, work-wise or personal-wise, he always was there for me and helped me out. Because since I've moved to Australia, it's like there's my home in India and then there's creating a new home in Australia. And like I'm sort of in the middle. You go back home, things are not exactly the same, so you have to catch up with people, see what they've been doing. There's always that gap. And then you're here, although you get to know this place, you're still not completely part of here, so you become something like in the middle, and everywhere you go you feel like, you know, there is something missing. But I think that has been a big aspect, and naturally when you move to a new country, you will at some point, you know, things will change of your family back home because you haven't been there for a while. You know, your parents are getting old, your friends are getting old, and they're doing different things in life which you don't know about, and I think that's the most important factor, that it is here. And I think being outside, you also need to value those relationships because you need to really find who those people are, because you'll meet a lot of people when you go out, and hopefully, you know, the ones who stick around and share those great experiences with you will make life easier. And as I said previously, you know, although these things will happen, there's no avoiding it, but all you can do is really take the time to maintain those relationships and talk with them more. I did worry because when I'm in Australia, I see my friends, all of my friends traveling in India or going to restaurants or movies or trips and stuff like that. So you feel a little bit jealous that, you know, I'm missing out on these things. And yeah, it's natural, it'll happen. But the key thing is to realize that, you know, you have your own journey, they have their own journey. And, you know, at some point, everyone grows older, and yeah, in order to tackle this, I've been really pushing my friends to meet me outside of India, like doing international trips. I went to Thailand in January, so I'm really pushing my Indian friends to also come out so we can have more shared experiences. You know, you have some more memories than the stuff you missed out on by being away from India. In terms of Australia, I would tell people to get out of their comfort zone and just really be open to experiences, you know, just value experiences more than maybe money, because that is what will make you grow. Talk to different types of people, not just stay home all the time, you know, spend only with your community, go outside of that, meet different types of people, and really make sure that you know what you want to do, and make sure that Australia can support you with that, and make sure you do your research, whether that's university, job, finding a job, everything, because you don't want to come into somewhere without doing research online and knowing things about it and without talking to people. and just make sure that your needs and wants can be fulfilled by this country. If that works and if you're here, then just make sure you are getting out of your comfort zone and getting as many experiences as you can. And in terms of going outside of your country, learn cooking. Very important. Anywhere you go, that will help you. And just make sure you're prepared for all of these things and be aware that, you have to do things by yourself, and there will be times that, you can only help yourself, although there's people to guide you, but that is also very important. And just be open to whatever country you're going to as, offers for you. And be in the moment, enjoy your time. One thing that I would say is just be yourself. Wherever you are, just be yourself. Don't change yourself for anyone. Just be yourself, and go towards your curiosity. If you're curious about something, do it. I was curious about doing a dive. I never done it, but I did it, and it was good. Anything you're interested in, curious, explore. Because you don't want to be old and think that I could have done these things. And everything that you're curious about, make a list and just go do it. And yeah, that's my last thing.